First contact fears. Captain Elena Reyes stood silently on the observation deck of the ESS Harbinger, Earth's most advanced warship, as she watched the stars drift by. For 3 years, this vessel had been her home, her responsibility, and her pride. Built after decades of isolation in a hostile universe, the Harbinger represented humanity's determination to survive in a cosmos they had long assumed was empty and dangerous. The ship's AI, broke the silence. Captain, the Galactic Alliance delegation is approaching our coordinates. Estimated arrival in 5 minutes. Elena straightened her midnight blue uniform, adorned only with a silver insignia of Earth's United Defense Force. Thank you, ARIA. Alert Commander Thomas, and have him meet me in the reception bay. Acknowledged, Captain. The Alliance's arrival marked a watershed moment in human history. After centuries of reaching into the void and hearing nothing in return, humanity had finally made contact with a thriving galactic civilization just 6 months ago. Initial communications had been cautious but friendly, leading to today's historic meeting, the first official diplomatic exchange between Earth and the Galactic Alliance of Sentient Species. Commander Thomas Chen appeared at Elena's side, his expression a mixture of excitement and concern. Never thought I'd see the day, he said quietly. Aliens boarding a UDF warship. Security teams are in position, but keeping a low profile as ordered. Good, Elena replied. Let's make history without incident. Through the viewport, she watched as the Alliance vessel approached. Unlike the Harbinger's angular, armored silhouette, the alien ship seemed to flow like liquid mercury, its hull shimmering with iridescent patterns that defied conventional engineering. Where human ships were built to endure, Alliance vessels were created to inspire. The docking procedure completed with perfect precision, and Elena led her welcoming party to the reception bay. The airlock cycled, revealing 3 distinctly different beings. Leading the delegation was Ambassador Zorlath, a tall, slender humanoid with pale blue skin and eyes that seemed to contain galaxies. Behind him stood Lieutenant Commander Vex, a reptilian being with scaled armor and calculating eyes that missed nothing. The third visitor was Dr. Neri, a floating orb of translucent tissue housing visible organs and neural networks, a thought-weaver from the distant Andromeda galaxy. Captain Reyes, Zorlath spoke, his translator converting his musical language into perfect English. On behalf of the Galactic Alliance, I extend our gratitude for your welcome. This meeting marks a hopeful new chapter for both our civilizations. Elena bowed slightly. The honor is ours, Ambassador. Humanity has dreamed of this moment for centuries. The initial tour went smoothly. The Alliance delegation appeared impressed by the Harbinger's size, the crew's discipline, and the ship's technological achievements. But Elena noticed a subtle shift in their demeanor when they entered the weapons control center. This is our primary defense grid, Commander Chen explained, gesturing toward rows of targeting computers and tactical displays. The Harbinger carries multiple redundant systems for point defense, allowing us to intercept incoming projectiles with 99.8% efficiency. Lieutenant Commander Vex's scaled ridges flared slightly. How many such systems do you maintain? 16 independent networks, Chen replied, each capable of operating autonomously if others are compromised. The reptilian officer exchanged glances with Ambassador Zorlath, whose serene expression had tightened almost imperceptibly. As they moved through the missile bays, shield generators, and finally the antimatter reactor core, the Alliance delegation grew increasingly quiet. In the engine room, Chief Engineer Santos proudly demonstrated the Harbinger's innovative propulsion system. The ship maintains 5 separate power networks, she explained. Complete redundancy ensures we can sustain operations even after catastrophic damage. After catastrophic damage, Dr. Neri repeated, neural patterns visibly accelerating within her translucent form. Your vessel is designed to continue functioning after sustaining impacts that would destroy any ship in the Alliance fleet. Precisely, Santos nodded, missing the implications of the alien's observation. The Harbinger can lose 80% of its systems and still fight effectively. Ambassador Zorlath's voice was carefully controlled as he turned to Elena. Captain Reyes, if you would indulge us, my delegation requires a private consultation before continuing. Elena granted them use of a conference room, where the aliens remained for nearly an hour. When they emerged, the ambassador's demeanor had changed from diplomatic warmth to formal civility. Captain, he said, we must respectfully request an immediate conference with your planetary leadership. This inspection has revealed matters of urgent concern to the Alliance Security Council. 24 hours later, Elena found herself in Earth's unified command center alongside the highest military and political officials of the planet. The room fell silent as Ambassador Zorlath presented the Alliance's findings on a large holographic display. Distinguished representatives of Earth, he began, we entered these discussions with great hope for mutual cooperation. However, our analysis of your military capabilities has raised profound concerns. The hologram showed detailed comparisons between Earth vessels and standard Alliance warships. The differences were stark and unmistakable. Where Alliance vessels carry defensive shields and minimal weaponry, your ships bristle with offensive capabilities. Where our hulls provide basic protection, your vessels are wrapped in layers of advanced armor. Where our ships are designed to disengage when damaged, yours are built to continue fighting despite catastrophic injuries. Director General Yamamoto of the United Earth Council leaned forward. Ambassador, we designed our ships for survival in a hostile universe. For centuries, humanity believed itself alone against unknown threats. Indeed, Zorlath replied. But the Alliance has maintained galactic peace for 3,000 years through strict limitations on military technology. Your standard patrol vessel, by our classifications, qualifies as a superweapon. A murmur rippled through the human officials. Admiral Castillo, head of the UDF, spoke up. Are you asking us to dismantle our fleet, Ambassador? The Alliance Security Council is debating that very question, Zorlath acknowledged. Some members believe Earth represents too significant a risk to join our community. Others see potential in your unique perspective, provided certain adjustments are made. The Lena-washed Earth's leaders absorbed this unexpected development. They had anticipated a welcoming ceremony, perhaps some cultural exchange, maybe even technology-sharing agreements. Not this fundamental challenge to humanity's approach to survival. We're not aggressors, Elena found herself saying. All eyes turned to her. Our ships are built this way because we've always prepared for the worst while hoping for the best. That's how humanity survived. Dr. Neri floated forward, her neural patterns pulsing. Perhaps that is precisely the issue, Captain. You built for war because you expected it. We built for peace because we created it. The question now is whether those philosophies can coexist. 3 days after the tense meeting, Elena led a specialized team in analyzing Alliance technology and military doctrine. The results were illuminating and concerning in equal measure. Their ships are essentially diplomatic vessels with token defenses, Lieutenant Kato explained, pointing to technical schematics. Single-layer hulls, minimal compartmentalization, no redundant systems. That makes no sense, Elena argued. They've been spacefaring for millennia longer than us. Surely they face similar dangers. They evolved beyond warfare, Commander Chen replied. Alliance records show no major conflicts in over 3,000 years. Their entire philosophy centers on diplomacy and negotiation, not combat readiness. Chief Engineer Santos gestured toward another display. Their shield technology is impressive, but one good hit would collapse their whole system. No backups, no fail-safes, and their weapons are designed to disable, not destroy. Elena circled the holographic models, considering the cultural gulf that separated Earth from the Alliance. What humans saw as prudent defense, the Alliance viewed as excessive aggression. What the Alliance prized as peaceful coexistence seemed like dangerous naivete to human eyes. Admiral Castillo wants you at the diplomatic summit tomorrow, Chen informed her. The Alliance Council has reached a decision regarding Earth's status. The next morning, The diplomatic center orbiting Earth hosted representatives from 37 alien species alongside humanity's leaders. The tension in the chamber was palpable as Supreme Counselor Trelvex of the Alliance took the podium. After thorough deliberation, the Alliance has reached a consensus, the reptilian announced. While we value Earth's potential contributions to our community, we cannot permit such destabilizing military technology within our sphere. Earth must significantly reduce its defensive capabilities as a precondition for membership. Admiral Castillo rose, his expression resolute. With respect, Counselor, we have only just found our place among the stars. You're asking us to surrender our only means of protection in a universe filled with unknown threats. Your warships are not defensive tools, countered another Alliance representative. They are apocalypse machines designed to inflict maximum destruction while sustaining grievous damage. No peaceful civilization needs such capabilities. To you, perhaps, Castillo replied. To us, they represent survival. Humanity has faced extinction many times in our history. We build to endure. The debate grew heated, with Alliance members speaking over each other. Some advocated for Earth's immediate isolation. Others suggested technological compromises, while a few rare voices urged patience and understanding. Elena watched the diplomatic breakdown with growing concern. Neither side could fully comprehend the other's perspective, shaped by vastly different evolutionary and historical experiences. Suddenly, every communication device in the chamber activated simultaneously. Screens flashed with emergency broadcast signals as panicked voices spoke in dozens of languages. Under attack. Unknown vessels. Defenses failing. Send help immediately. The chamber fell silent as video feeds appeared on the main display. They showed sleek, obsidian ships with distinctive blood-red energy signatures cutting through an Alliance defense fleet as if they were made of paper. One by one, the elegant alien vessels exploded or drifted disabled. Supreme Counselor Trelvex stared at the screen, scales pale with shock. That's the Centauri outpost, he whispered. 3 settlements, millions of sentients. Admiral Castillo looked at Elena, then back at the Alliance leadership. Perhaps, he said quietly, our discussion about Earth's ships being too powerful has just become irrelevant. As the screens displayed more Alliance vessels falling to the mysterious attackers, Elena felt a grim certainty settle over her. The Harbinger and ships like it had been built for precisely this kind of moment, when survival depended not on diplomatic niceties, but on the ability to stand and fight when everything else failed. The emergency signals continued to blare as both humanity and the Alliance faced a threat neither had anticipated, and only one had prepared for. The Proving Ground. The emergency broadcast signal blared through the ESS Harbinger's command center as Captain Elena Reyes rushed to the main console. Communications Officer Layla Mahmoud was already receiving the transmission, her fingers flying across the holographic interface. Multiple distress signals from the Centauri sector. Layla reported, her voice steady despite the chaos unfolding on the screens. Alliance defensive line has been breached. 3 settlement worlds under heavy attack. The main view screen displayed tactical data alongside fragmented video feeds. Strange obsidian ships with blood-red energy signatures moved with terrifying precision through the Alliance defense perimeter. The beautiful alien vessels, designed more for ceremony than combat, stood no chance against the aggressors. Those aren't any ships in our database, Commander Thomas Chen noted, studying the footage. Look how they're cutting through the Alliance defenses, like they're not even there. The bridge crew watched in grim silence as station after station fell. The black ships showed no interest in communication or surrender. They simply destroyed everything in their path with methodical efficiency. Signal lost, Layla announced as the screen went dark. The entire sector has gone silent. 3 days later, Elena found herself in an emergency war council aboard the Alliance diplomatic station. The chamber, once a showcase of artistic beauty, now served as a crisis command center. The room was filled with representatives from dozens of species, but gone was their earlier confidence. Many appeared exhausted, some wounded. Supreme Counselor Trelvex sat at the head of the table, his scales now a dull gray from stress. "We've identified the attackers," he said, his voice strained. "They call themselves the Void Collective. We encountered them briefly centuries ago, but never in such numbers or with such advanced technology." He activated a holographic display showing one of the obsidian ships in detail. "They don't negotiate or communicate. Their only apparent goal is consumption. Technology, resources, even living beings, all become fuel for their expansion." "Why haven't they attacked before now?" Alina asked. "Our early warning network has kept them at bay," replied a Serpentine delegate. "Until now." Trelvex looked directly at Alina, his reptilian eyes holding both pride and desperation. "Captain Rice, our vessels are being destroyed faster than we can deploy them. The collective has adapted to our defensive strategies, rendering them useless." He paused, mandibles clicking softly. "We need your help." Alina couldn't hide her surprise. "The same ships you wanted dismantled a week ago?" "Yes," Trelvex acknowledged, "under Alliance oversight." "Of course." Admiral Castillo, seated beside Alina, leaned forward. "You want us to fight your war?" "We want to save lives," Ambassador Zorlath interjected. "Billions will die if the collective reaches the inner systems. Your ships are—" He struggled to find the right word. "Excessive by our standards. But right now, excessive force may be exactly what we need." Alina exchanged glances with Admiral Castillo. The irony wasn't lost on either of them. "The Harbinger battle group can deploy immediately," Castillo offered. 5 ships. That's all we can spare on short notice." 5 human warships, Dr. Neary observed, her neural patterns pulsing rapidly. "Statistical models suggest that may be sufficient to stabilize the front lines." Within 48 hours, final preparations were complete. The Harbinger led 4 other Earth vessels, the Defiant, the Sentinel, the Valiant, and the Resolute, toward the quantum jump point that would take them to the Centauri sector. On the bridge of the Harbinger, Alina addressed her crew. "This mission is unprecedented," she said, looking at the determined faces around her. "We're the first human ships to fight alongside the Alliance. Many of them still fear us. Some still want our technology restricted. But right now, we're all that stands between the Void Collective and billions of innocent lives." She nodded to the navigation officer. "Take us in." The quantum jump was smooth. The battle group emerged near Proxima Station, once a thriving trade hub, now under siege. Dozens of collective vessels surrounded the station, cutting into its hull with crimson energy beams. "Collective vessels detected," reported Tactical Officer Mayapodal. 53 ships of various configurations. "They've seen us." 5 ships breaking formation to intercept. Alina felt a familiar calm settle over her. This was what the Harbinger was built for. Not ceremonies or parades, but standing as a shield when all else failed. "All ships, combat formation Delta," she ordered. "Shields at maximum, weapons hot." On the tactical display, she watched as her 5 ships formed a protective wedge. The approaching collective vessels showed no signs of altering course or slowing. "They're not even trying to evade," Maya noted, studying their movement patterns. "Their approach is completely predictable." "Analyze their attack patterns," Alina ordered. Maya worked her console for several moments. "It's strange, Captain. They don't maneuver during combat. No evasive patterns, no tactical repositioning. It's almost as if they've never faced real opposition before." Alina finished. "They don't even have evasive protocols." A small smile touched her lips. "Then let's show them what humanity brings to the fight." She opened a channel to all 5 ships. "This is Captain Reyes. These collective ships have never faced vessels like ours. They don't know what we can do. Let's teach them." The collective ships closed rapidly, firing their crimson energy weapons. Alina watched calmly as the shots splashed against the Harbinger's advanced shields. Shield integrity at 94%, reported Engineering Officer Jackson Wu. Minimal degradation. Their weapons are powerful, but predictable. Let them get closer, Alina ordered. Wait for my signal. The bridge crew tensed as the black ships approached. When they reached optimal firing range, Alina gave the command. All ships, execute fire pattern Alpha. Show them how humans fight. As one, the 5 Earth vessels unleashed their formidable arsenals. The darkness of space lit up with the fury of human warfare. The Harbinger struck first, its point defense systems firing thousands of smart projectiles that intercepted and neutralized the incoming energy beams. Behind this shield of counterfire, Earth's other ships executed a perfect pincer movement, surrounding 3 collective vessels. Target their propulsion systems, Alina ordered. Disable them first. Ambassador Zorlath, who had insisted on accompanying the mission as an observer, watched from a corner of the bridge with a mixture of horror and amazement. When he had requested human assistance, he hadn't truly understood what that meant. You're targeting specific systems, he noted, his normally melodious voice tight with tension. Precision strikes, Alina explained without taking her eyes off the tactical display. Minimum force necessary to neutralize the threat. On screen, the collective vessels continued their relentless advance, seemingly unconcerned with the damage they were taking. They showed no signs of retreat or self-preservation. They're not adapting, Commander Chen observed with growing confidence. Their tactical programming doesn't account for an enemy that can actually hurt them. The battle continued for 3 grueling hours as more collective ships joined the engagement. But unlike the Alliance vessels, which had fallen quickly to the onslaught, the human warships absorbed punishment and kept fighting. Their layered defenses, redundant systems, and overwhelming firepower, all the features the Alliance had found so disturbing, now proved decisive. When the last collective ship finally disintegrated under combined fire from the Harbinger and the Valiant, an eerie silence fell over the bridge. All hostile targets neutralized, Maya reported. Station is secure. The rescue operations that followed revealed the true horror of the collective's attack. Thousands of Alliance citizens had been killed, with many more injured or traumatized. As the human crews worked alongside Alliance medical teams, the cultural barriers began to break down in the face of shared purpose. 1 week later, Alina stood in the observation lounge of the repaired Alliance diplomatic station. Earth forces, working in coordination with Alliance specialists, had successfully pushed the collective back across 3 sectors. The immediate threat had been contained, though the war was far from over. Supreme Counselor Trelvex approached. His scales now returned to their healthy green hue. Captain Reyes, he greeted her. The Alliance Council has been reviewing your battle records. Alina tensed, wondering if their military success would once again be held against them. We observed something unexpected, Trelvex continued. Despite possessing overwhelming firepower, your vessels consistently employed minimum necessary force. You targeted propulsion and weapons systems when possible, avoided civilian casualties, and even attempted to capture rather than destroy enemy vessels for study. That's standard UDF protocol, Alina replied. Maximum effect, minimum collateral damage. Not the actions of a warmongering species, Trelvex noted. Perhaps we judged too quickly. Ambassador Zorlath joined them, along with Admiral Castillo and Dr. Neri, whose floating form pulsed with excited neural patterns. We have prepared a new proposal, Zorlath announced. The Alliance now recognizes that our approach to defense has been insufficient against certain threats. However, we maintain that unrestricted military development threatens the peace we've cultivated for millennia. Admiral Castillo nodded. And humanity recognizes that joining a peaceful galactic community requires compromises. But we cannot abandon our capacity for self-defense. Hence our proposal, Dr. Neri interjected, her thoughts manifesting as shimmering patterns in her translucent body. A joint defense initiative. Human warships would serve as the vanguard against external threats like the collective, while Alliance diplomatic and scientific expertise would work to prevent conflicts before they begin. Alina considered the implications. Our ships would protect Alliance worlds, and in return, Earth would gain full membership in the Alliance. Trelvex confirmed, with technological exchange, cultural integration, and mutual defense guarantees. However, certain weapons systems would be subject to oversight and deployment restrictions. The proposal sparked intense debate among Earth's leadership. Many military officials balked at the idea of restrictions, while others saw the tremendous opportunity for humanity's advancement. After days of negotiation, a compromise was reached. Earth would maintain its defensive capabilities, but agree to Alliance oversight for its most destructive weapons. In exchange, humanity would gain access to the Alliance's vast knowledge base and take a leadership role in galactic security. 3 months after the Harbinger's pivotal battle against the Collective, a formal ceremony marked Earth's induction into the Galactic Alliance. Captain Alina Reyes stood alongside her crew as Admiral Castillo, and Supreme Counselor Trelvex signed the historic agreement. Two philosophies, Ambassador Zorlath remarked, standing beside Alina as they watched the proceedings. Both with wisdom, both with flaws. Strength tempered by restraint, Alina agreed. Protection without aggression. A balance we all must learn, the ambassador nodded. The Alliance taught peace without preparedness. Humanity knew preparedness without peace. Together, perhaps we find a better way. As the ceremony concluded, Alina returned to the Harbinger's bridge. The ship, once viewed with suspicion and fear by the Alliance, now served as a symbol of a new era, one where humanity's determination to survive found purpose in protecting others. Through the viewport, she watched as Alliance vessels maneuvered alongside Earth ships in a ceremonial formation. The stark contrast between their designs remained, one built for beauty and harmony, the other for resilience and power. Different approaches to the same universe, now finding strength in their differences rather than conflict. The Harbinger's communication system activated. Captain Reyes, Admiral Castillo's voice came through. The Joint Patrol Fleet is assembled and awaiting your command. You have the honor of leading the first mission. Alina surveyed her bridge, where human officers now worked alongside Alliance specialists. Commander Chen gave her a confident nod from his station. Acknowledged, Admiral, she replied. Course is set for the outer perimeter. We'll show the galaxy what we can accomplish together. As the combined fleet moved into formation around the Harbinger, Alina reflected on the journey that had brought them here. What the Alliance had initially feared as a threat, humanity's drive to build, defend, and endure, had become the foundation of a stronger peace, not through disarmament or dominance, but through understanding and purpose. The stars stretched before them, filled with both wonders and dangers, but for the first time in human history, they faced the unknown not alone, but as part of something greater, bringing their unique strength to a universe that needed it more than anyone had realized. All ships, Alina commanded, prepare for quantum jump. Let's make history.